Oh, that sound is awfully scratchy and fuzzy out there, Brian. Brian, can you hear that out there? What, around the ear? Oh, well, if that's sounding scratchy to you, write us in and tell us. Brian, just turn it off. We won't have music today. We'll just go right ahead without the intro, the usual intro. Good evening, and welcome to Ya Canadians Are Interesting People. And I thought we'd just plunge right into the show today with a delightful couple from Red Deer, whom my husband and I met when we were traveling this summer. That's right, yours truly actually managed to engineer a vacation. And here's a picture of the couple that we met. Now, bear in mind, Joseph Karsh, I am not, but they're in here in their Winnebago behind the windshield. Well, you cannot see them. The glass is a little too dark to see through, but I can assure you that they're in there because we had the most wonderful evening around of all things, and this is the interesting point, a game of gin rummy. And, you know, I had not played, of course, in donkey's years, not being a card person, but it is so amazing how quickly you forget these things, and then conversely, how promptly you remember, or I was going to say re-remember, and I think that's actually the more correct term, because I had, of course, known how to play years ago, but that was a long time ago. But, oh, we have to go on a break. We'll be back. But I was going to say, my husband remarked to me how often the most simple things, in this case, cards, can be
How are you?
Good.
Are you feeling any better?
Yeah.
Did you get a bite to eat? Bit of breakfast?
No, they had sausages.
No, and you won't eat sausages, will you?
No.
My God, Barry, what'd you have to get mixed up with them old drugs for?
Ma'am.
That old marijuana? I told you, didn't I tell you? Why couldn't you be normal and get mixed up with drunken driving or assault and battery like the rest of the crowd? If you'd raped someone, you'd be out by now. If you'd killed someone, you'd be out by now for good behavior. Did you have a bit of lunch?
No, they had sausages.
Yeah, and you won't eat the sausages, will you?
No.
What are you doing all the time? Why don't you do something with the carpentry? You always love that.
That's only for the sexual offenders.
Oh, they're in the workshop all the time, are they?
Yeah.
That's rehabilitation, see? Well, what about the library or the gym?
Violent offenders?
Oh, the violent offenders. You were in your cell all weekend?
Yeah.
That's shocking. Where were the guards?
Picnic in Salmonair.
Gone on a picnic with the white-collar prisoners. Oh, my. No, your father is not coming in to visit you. He's mad at you for getting your car impounded. He's been drinking and driving constantly since you came in. I'm worried sick about him. He'll be in here with you soon if he keeps it up. His eyes are out in his cheeks and his liver is swollen up like a balloon. But I dare say he'll get out ahead of you. Gary Nolan did.
Gary Nolan got out.
Got out last weekend. 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon and 1 count of rape. But the judge said he was drinking, didn't know what he was doing. Have they still got you on the drugs?
Yeah.
Yeah, the saltpeter keeps the crowd calm down, don't it? See, if you'd robbed a pharmacy, Barry, there are good drugs. Well, they got mandatory drug testing up to the school now. Mandatory drug testing. When they go in, they hook their little birdies up to a tube and it all feeds into a beaker, and if that tests positive, the whole class got to stay in after. Oh, my God, Barry, I got to run. Your father's waiting for me outside. He won't even set foot in the building. Be good now. Keep your nose clean. I'll be back on Monday. Have a good supper now.
They got sausages.
And you never did like sausages, did you? I'll see you Monday. God love you now. Bye-bye.
Cecilia passed peacefully away at her home under Roach's line, leaving to mourn her husband James and 2 sisters in Boston. 2 sisters in Boston. 2 sisters in Boston. Costello, Mike, Bucky, barely dead and hardly missed by his wife Alice, nee Dalton.
Bucky Costello.
Our cousin Buck.
Leaving to mourn 3 sons, Thomas, James, and George, and 2 daughters, Tishy and Boopy. Remains resting at Hickey's funeral home in Harbor, Maine. In lieu of flowers, send donations to the Liver Foundation.
Drink. You can always tell by the foundation, huh?
Gorbachev, Mikhail, leader of the Russian people.
Will you shut up?
Stop making up dead people, Rowley. God, I don't want to be going up to Harbor, Maine, though, Bet. That crowd would sell their mother for a bottle of beer up there.
Yeah, you're much too delicate to be up there with that crowd of savages, Cassie.
Bet,
What?
can I go along with you today?
Rowley, you know you can't go going out dressed like that.
So get me a suit of clothes, then. Mom always had a suit of clothes pressed up for me.
Mom is dead, Rowley.
Mom has been eaten by worms, Roll.
God, you're a morbid woman, Jessie.
Yeah, morbidity is our bread and butter.
Cassie, come on, Roll. Move it or lose it, Rowley.
There you go.
Yeah, go, darling. Now, here, Cassie, stick this in your purse.
Okay.
We'll hop the Fleet Line bus and we'll be there in no time. Oh, God, I hope it's not a quick internment. That's worse than buried at sea.
Yeah, wait without a body. Oh.
And welcome back to Ya Canadians Are Interesting People, and we're going to talk about Canadian history, which can be just so fascinating, and not to mention downright exciting. Once you get past, of course, those dreary early Canadian martyrs and into prairie country, things seem to pick right up. Because, you know, in reading back over, I realized that there were just oodles of ordinary settlers with the most ordinary problems, not unlike mine and yours, but without, and this is the interesting point, without the advantage of toasters and other technological frou-fra, and that's something to bear in mind when thinking about that. But we're going to have a group with us, as I did promise you, called La Groupe de la Quatre Jambes, which I think is literally the group with 4 arms. And what, Brian? That's legs? Well, legs. I kid you not, La Groupe. They're going to talk to us about CODCO, the Canadian Dream, which was their play. And it was just wonderful. I saw it at the Arts Centre, and it was a 14-hour epic. And they did the whole thing with just a scarf and a hat. I kid you not, it was wonderful. And they're going to talk with us now, and I want you to give them a warm welcome. Well, of course, we can't give them one here because we have no audience, but feel free to applaud at home. And Brian, are they here? They're gone? Oh, that's really too bad. They couldn't wait any longer. Oh, that's just too bad. But perhaps I can do a quick recap for you because I wouldn't want you to miss this play. And does anyone out there have a scarf and a hat?
Sleep with you? I'd sleep with a chicken first.
Good morning.
Shut up! Just shut up! You wouldn't know love but to kick your head off!
Are you happy? Are you happy now? Are you happy now?
This is the suburb of a typical Canadian city. This morning, as is usual in this seemingly quiet bedroom community, the battle of the sexes rages on.
I realize you have a tense day at work, and I'm really sorry that I hit you with this stuff as soon as you came in the door. I didn't mean to be so bloody negative. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring up the negative stuff right away.
No, I'm sorry, Karen.
No,
I'm
I
sorry,
really-
Karen. It's my fault. You're absolutely right.
Don't say it's your fault.
It is my fault. I'm not good enough.
In the midst of such a high-tension zone, once the first shot is fired, there's no turning back. When does the light in the fridge of love go off? When you close the door.
Discussion.
Okay, we can
Go
have a
ahead,
discussion.
start drinking now. Go ahead, have
What
a
do you mean, Karen? Start drinking. I'm gonna have one drink.
Okay,
I've been
go
working
ahead.
all week. It's like I'm
Have
just
a
having a
cocktail.
highball.
Yeah,
I'm
just
having a
highball.
cocktail.
I'd like to have a conversation with you. There's a decent conversation while you're not drinking, that's all.
I'm not drinking. Do you call having one drink drinking?
Yes, I do,
You call
Michael.
that? I'll show you. You want to see drinking, Karen? I'll show you drinking. Come on, Karen. I'll show you drinking. You want to see drinking? You want to see?
Get out of it. Come on.
These once friendly cohabitants, who only last week were blithely expressing their faith in the redeeming power of love, now find themselves immersed in the ninth circle of matrimonial hell. With no victory in sight, and as the combatants grow older, they seek to entrench their positions in a new generation of recruits.
Marie? What the hell is he playing with dolls for? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? Turn him into a faggot like your brother? What do you want, his picture on the front page of Body Politic?
Jerry? Jerry, my God, what are you doing?
I'm trying to rough him up, okay? I'm trying to rough him up.
Jerry,
okay?
God, you're gonna hurt
I'm trying
him.
to turn him into a man, okay? I'm trying to turn him into a man, okay? I want him to be a man.
Is it always the same old story? He loves her and she doesn't? Or she loves him less and he loves somebody else more? Somebody is the good soul and somebody else the villain. I want a guy just like the guy that married dear old Mom. Or do we? Who has time anymore for the niceties of romance in this fast-paced world of breakneck upward mobility? Who needs the aggravation? Some people, though, they still want to be Bobby's girl. They want to hold your hand. They still think about things like a walk in the park. They're going to the chapel and they're going to get married. They know that love is a many-splendored thing, that it is the April rose that only grows in the early spring. Boom, 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 let's go back to my room. Coming up next month on The Jugular, The Battle of the Sexes, a 98-part docudrama that provides a chilling but thought-provoking look into this age-old conflict.
Scattered through the far-flung world of Victoria's empire, from subcontinent to ice cap, tireless remittance men continue to attempt to dominate. The empire has died, but the compulsion to colonize lives on. White men persistently looking for a burden to shoulder, chipping through the ice cap to plant the seed of a vanished empire on the leached and exhausted soil of their former colonies.
In Newfoundland, colonialist and poet John 4 Mile speaks of his relationship with the colony.
I've been in Newfoundland now for nearly 10 years, and I've never been accepted here. And I never will be accepted here. I don't want to be accepted here. If I were accepted here, I should feel like a failure.
Nevertheless, he forges on. Here, a crack BBC investigator discovers him planting an English garden.
First week of April, we have the first planting, which is, of course, as you can see, almost immediately cut down by ice and snow the second week of April.
Permafrost is no obstacle to this spunky Brit, or to his vigorous wife Marjorie, who uses games from the homeland to simulate both civilization and sanity.
Good God! Good shot there, darling. Wonderful. Yes. She's a very troubled woman.
But the rocky realities of colonial life can on occasion prove too much, even for former head girl Marjorie.
Please, couldn't we go home, please? No, darling. The people need us here. They simply don't have the local expertise. We must see ourselves as missionaries. Thin red line. Fight on the beaches, yes.
Exactly. I'm just Barbie little bunny buttons, dear.
Balls in the house, dear.
But the sun never sets on empire. And a surprise visit from the bastard son of a distant cousin of the Queen brings on an ode to Her Majesty.
Could you read us the poem you wrote for the Queen?
No, it's for the Queen.
Could we just have a little smidgen of the poem, please, Mr. 4 Mile?
All right. Some men love the rose, and others the daffodil sweet. Some men burn coal in their fires, and other men burn peat. I've sat and I've thought for hour upon hour, but the Queen of England is my favorite flower.
And so we say farewell to the 4 Miles, our modern-day John and Jane Bull. The backbone of an empire that refuses to snap. A glorious empire of the mind.
Actually, I've got another poem about bigotry. Bigotry. Bigotry, it's just so hard to get a word to rhyme with it. Bigotry, you grow like a fig tree. Ah, there we are. Rather good
Oh, my God, that's not.
It couldn't be.
It is!
Oh, my God, Bet, he's gonna kill himself. My God, Rolly, what are you doing on the back of the boat?
I want to stay up that room no more.
Wait, are you kidding? Sit down on the horse.
Come back! Come back here!
Good evening, and welcome back to Hour 2. 3. Thanks for the correction. That's one up for you, Corey, my guest, Corey Darnell. And so here we are in Hour 3 of Ya Canadians Are Interesting People. And our special guest, and I assure you, I promise, Guide's honor, we will get to talk to you in this, the final hour.
Oh, don't hurry out my account.
You're still with us, and you've just been wonderfully patient here. But I did want to say one thing to the viewers at home, and that is for this season coming up, we have been desperately trying to snatch Professor Andrew Jones to, of course, talk with him about his new book, analyzing Scottish songs. And perhaps, if we're lucky, we can squeeze a haggis recipe out of Professor Jones. He's a very amusing person as well. But now, Corey Darnell, good evening, Corey. He is the star, of course, of Late Night Soap, which I presume is somewhere between primetime soap and daytime soap, although I'm not sure.
No, it's actually, it's later in the evening. Late night is actually late night.
I myself, of course, I will confess to you at the outset to not being a late night person. I will be sitting in the living room with my husband watching television, and that at a certain point in the evening's proceedings, it's as though a switch inside of my head goes click, and then that's it, of course. I'm gone for the rest of the evening. You can't do anything with me after that.
You won't cow, you just won't shut up, will you?
Do you like cows, Corey? This is a surprise. Many stars, of course, do love animals, which is a very sensitive side we rarely see of these people.
Just
and
stop
I think,
talking for 5
oh,
minutes,
Corey.
okay?
Oh,
5 little minutes.
this is interesting, Corey. It's an impromptu moment here, but this is the third firearm that I have seen today. People have been showing them to me all day long, and this is a very old piece. We should do a program on this, you know, because my husband, I recognize it, my husband has a collection of pre-war firearms, which he keeps threatening to use upon me, of course, in the most bizarre ways. And I'm tempted to take this for him. He'd really appreciate it, but of course, I won't do that. It's yours. You can have it back. I'm going to be honest. But Corey, I wanted to... You won't be able to leave the studio just yet, because the doors are locked while I'm talking and the red light is... Oh, dear. Oh, that's a very loud report. Brian, was there an accident out there? Corey maybe didn't realize his gun was loaded, you see.
That's not Dad.
Yes, it is.
But he don't look like Dad.
Oh, I don't like to be looking at it.
Oh, my Alice, I'm not too late, am I, girl? You haven't got him planted. God love him. But sure, I lost Cassie out in Topsail somewhere. A bit of a problem with Rowley. They did a lovely job on him here. Took him some long time to go, though, didn't it, girl?
Yes, the doctor said he had a heart like a horse, Bet, 'cause he was always contrary.
Mom, come over here. Look, I want to get a picture of you with the coffin.
That's what I will not. Look, going to Gould, what's she like?
My God, though, Alice, they must make some old money here, what? Well, the funeral parlor and the hall for weddings and the ambulance service. Hatching, matching, and dispatching, what? No, Alice. No disrespect intended, honey.
None taken, Bet.
Mom, when's Jim getting in?
He was supposed to get into St. John's an hour ago. He should be here soon. Where's Tommy?
I don't know. I think he's out in the truck.
Judas in the big one. If that comes in here now in the horrors after drinking whiskey.
Where is he? Where's the old man? Where is he? Why, where is he? Come on, boy. Boy, Cosmo. Get up, you big bastard. Get up.
Oh, God, they must have poured him off the plane.
I just want to talk to him. That's all. I just want to talk to him. I never got to talk to him. I went away, right? I never got to talk to him, right? I never knew him. You knew him. You were always around, right? I never knew him, right?
No. I didn't know him that well. Nobody knew him, boy. Nobody knew him, Jimmy. Well, I tell you one thing, he was all heart, boy. He gave you the last cent in his pocket.
Yeah, when he was drunk.
Well, boy, they say you're really a man when your old man dies.
Yeah, you're all man, all freaking man.
Jimmy, boy.
Will you look at the state of them trees?
Alice, we'll have the rosary. The youngsters can take a mystery each. Tommy, Georgie, Jim, come over here. We're going to have the rosary. Fishy, come on. Tommy, you take the first mystery. All right? The first sorrowful mystery, the agony in the garden.
First off, mystery, the agony in the garden. Our Father, who art in heaven. Jeez, I can't remember the rest of that friggin' thing.
My God, Tommy, the language during the Holy Rosary.
You shut up, you. You shut your friggin' trap. He was my father. He was nothing to you. He was my father, and he could never take me. He could never take me. You're a big man, but you could never take me.
The man just died. He's dead.
You'll never be half a man. The old man will...
Shut up, you fairy.
What are they drinking for, them bastards?
You gotta drink in this family. I suppose if you didn't have a few drinks, you'd burst trying to hold everything in.
Go on, you alcoholic. Why don't you have one for your nerves?
You shut up, Junior. You shut up, Junior, and sit down right now.
Why don't you make me shut up?
No, make you shut up.
Come on, Georgie.
Make you shut up. I'm pretty brave now, standing behind your mother.
Thank God I got a mother.
I'm the way mother. What do you want to spring in this thing?
This funeral, they're going to kill that tonight.
Oh, my God, Alice, me head. If one of them lands on me, they'll be laying me out in the coffin next to Mike.
You shut up. You will take a nuclear bomb to kill you.
My God, Georgie, watch your dirty big mouth, for God's sake, the language.
Shut up. You're crawling like a bunch of savages up there, biting big pieces out of each other.
Alice, I'm not
For God's sake! Get up! Get up! Get up, you bastard!
Oh, dear, Tishy's as big a man as any of ye.
Don't go saying that. Everyone in this family always going on about being a man. Everyone in this family always want to be more of a man than the other one. None of them is half the man the mom is.
Oh, my God, it's Cass and Rolly and all the grand ones.
Come on, Tommy, come on, Jimmy, Georgie, come on. Sit up like civilized people for once in your life. Come on, Tommy, sit down. People are company, now sit down.
Next to you.
Come on, take it out to the parking lot. Go on, get out of here. Get out of here.
Get the Marie Celeste. Not a soul around.
Pardon the pun.
What a wake, Cassie, my darling. You're after missing the best of it. So they're out there now in the midst of a big racket in the parking lot. Fresh blood, new recruits. Let's go get them. Well, if we make it through this one, we'll be back next week with Wake of the Week. Come on, wake it, Rolly.
Well, welcome back again to Hour 5, and we have our special guest still with us, Corey Darnell. You know, that's a wonderfully dramatic look, and it reminds me of my trip to Egypt, you see, where, interestingly enough, I had another game of cards. And the Egyptians, of course, are wonderful card players, as everyone knows. And we were there with them at the... Brian, that shot's getting just a wee bit low. But if it looks good, of course, I can go with it. We were there, you see, going up the Nile, and carry on up the Nile, you'll remember that one, and I had forgotten my sunscreen, and I didn't realize this in the sun, and my husband said to me, "You look like a Nova Scotia lobster."